time for another snapshot. Woohoo! 20W49A. I am very excited about this because we're getting two major, huge updates. Number one is a new cave biome, so we're actually going to see what the biome is going to look like. And then number two is Sculk sensors, wireless redstone, baby. I am prepared to not understand any of it. So we're going to call this Dripstone Cave, and you have to go into more world options. And we are going to choose single biome and then go down here until we find Dripstone Cave. Once we select that, everything should be good to go. No need to like do a weird seed or anything. And hopefully we'll get a Dripstone Cave out of this. I hope. This looks kind of normal to me. I don't know. I don't know about this. Let's hope that underneath here we get a Dripstone Cave. I saw some dripstone over there. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's like a normal, it's like a cave. It's like nothing has changed. Wait a second. I'm giving myself some night vision here so that I can actually see a little bit better. I added way too much of an amplifier on there. So you can kind of see some of the cave up here at the top. It really just looks like a normal stone. Oh, look at this. Oh, wow. This is like a massive deposit. So in Texas, where I live, there's this, it's almost like a roadside attraction called Interspace Caverns. And you can walk through this like massive cave. And they have things like this, like a big old blob of dripstone just chilling in like a big hallway. So that's kind of cool that they not only have the stalagmites and stalactites, but they have a big old blob of rock. This is looking awesome. So seeing it in creative mode with night vision is kind of fun, but I wanted to almost do a, what would you experience if you were in survival? Now, I'm surprised that this biome, this cave biome, doesn't feel more different. Like, I expected this to feel almost kind of like what we're walking up to, where it was like everything was absolutely like totally different and nothing at all was the same. But it kind of just feels intermingled with a normal cave. And I'm a little disappointed by it. I guess it's fine. Like, I really do think that this is integrated quite nicely inside of the current cave. But I felt like it was going to be a very, very different feeling. But this feels like a normal cave with just some stalagmites and stalactites kind of added in. Ow. So currently the biome at the top of the world is this plains biome. And I've set the biome to be Dripstone Caves. So here we go. You can check it out. Dripstone Cave. And that is set everywhere. So I would assume that in the future that you would have a different biome on top. So you might be in the mesa biome. And then you would be able to go into a Dripstone Cave underneath so that you're not always going to have a Dripstone Cave underneath a plains. That's just my guess. And obviously this is a work in progress. But by me generating the world as only Dripstone Cave, it's interesting that it generates all plains biomes everywhere. Or what looks like plains biomes, but it's really Dripstone! Also, these stalagmites and stalactites get really large. Like really, really large. So I'm here in this ravine. And like, look how big this thing is. Holy moly. That is a lot of dripstone blocks. Now, one thing that was mentioned was that there might be pools of water. This is mentioned in the changelog. So I'm wondering if this pool of water wouldn't naturally generate at this spot. Unless if it was in this Dripstone Cave biome. So I assume that, you know, because they drip, you're going to get pools of water kind of chilling out within the biome. A little bit different than the natural water that generates in the walls, but you're gonna have like that, like a little section of water inside of your biome. Moving on. Oh, it's mesmerizing. It's tantalizing. It is the Sculk sensor, and I have a whole bunch of them placed down here. Sculk sensors can now be found in the creative menu underneath Redstone. This is not naturally generating at the moment, but getting this mini on the ground allows us to kind of see a few things. One is that it was tweeted like a week ago, if these should all like update at the same time or a little bit delayed from each other. And so if I take a snowball and throw it in the middle, you can kind of see this like animation almost of them all detecting this vibration and moving outwards. By the way, if for some reason you're living underneath the rock, Sculk sensors are going to be coming in the future with this like new biome that we haven't heard about, and they detect vibrations, so vibrations from the player and stuff. But this will eventually be a good way to make wireless redstone. So during the snowball shows that they all detect a little bit slower, so it's not a real-time or like exact like lightning speed detection, which I think I like. I mean, I can see it both ways. It doesn't really bother me either way. One thing that I found out that is kind of interesting is it doesn't need to be something that is thrown or shot, like I would assume an arrow would work, but like even something that is dropped. So if I drop this wheat seed on it, it detects that vibration, and then players walking, obviously, and running. Oh, weird. It's like there's some... Wait, why are you broken over here? Excuse me, Sculk sensors. Oh, weird. I have broken Sculks over here. That one works. Oh, interesting. Huh. I think it's because I was doing some command block stuff to get this all to work. So I'm going to set this to stone. Okay, will you work now? Aha, now it's working. Yeah, I think I just messed it up with my command block stuff. But so as I run, it all updates, which is kind of crazy. And we can see it like unupdating. So that is crazy. This is some weird stuff. I'm wondering why there's that weird... There's almost like a force field behind me, and there's like a little layer that isn't updating. So I set the time to night to see if they gave off any light. My first impression was they do not, so no light given. But if you activate them, then they do give off light. It's easier to see right here. So as these get activated, they are letting off just a tiny amount of light. It looks like just one light level as they are activated. So in trying to find out like what will set off Sculks and what will not, so just general walking, I'm not sprinting, and I've switched to survival mode just to like make sure that there's no bugs with creative mode. So walking will set them off, but if you sneak, that is safe. That will not set off the sensors. Now, placing down blocks, even if I'm sneaking, so I'm currently sneaking right now, and I place down a block, that will still update the sensors, so that won't do anything. Now, jumping though, so let's say I'm over here, and I just jump, that's going to set them off. But if I sneak and jump, then that will not set them off. Now, there is a limit, so that if I am, like, say, on top of this fall that is going to hurt me, if I was just to fall off, that updates the Sculk sensors. But even if I sneak and fall, that will update them as well. So I think taking damage basically will update them. But something like this, I can sneak and jump, and I'm not setting off the detectors. Okay, messing a bit with redstone. So a lot sets these things off. So even flicking the switch, that will set them off. Obviously, flipping a switch that will move a piston, that will set it off. Even clicking this button will set them all off. So right here I have this lever with a big long redstone line with a piston, and you probably guessed it, that will set them off. And that looks really cool to see kind of all of the wirelessness move. There is an animation, as you can see, that little like vibration coming off that piston. That is pretty cool. You can also, this is the first time I'm noticing that the animation changes quite a lot. So they kind of have this like breathing animation, and then when they're activated, they move a lot faster. Okay, so we knew that these Sculk sensors were going to be used for wireless redstone. So I have a little contraption set up here to test that out. So we have a Sculk sensor that is going to, whenever it gets activated, it sends out a redstone signal, if you didn't know. That will send a redstone signal to this trapdoor. That trapdoor will open, which will cause a vibration to be sent down the line, and each one of these will activate. I also have a redstone lamp on top of them so that we can actually see that redstone being activated. And then this is just here just to send this lever is here to send any redstone vibration. It doesn't have, actually it doesn't have to be redstone at all. It's just a vibration is what we are working with. So I'm going to flip it on, and you can see that down the line, we get a wireless redstone signal, which is pretty cool. And also, what is kind of interesting is that because this takes it takes exactly 40 game ticks to be done with its like sensing, that it works out perfectly with timing. So once those 40 ticks are over, it'll drop the trapdoor. But since while those 40 game ticks of it being on, basically, when it's in its on state, it can't detect anything a second time. So as this goes down, this one is still in its detection mode for a few more ticks, and so it won't accidentally create a feedback loop. So you won't constantly be getting the same thing over and over and over again. It will actually wait for the next signal, which is kind of nice because that one is still on and the timing doesn't quite work out. So that's nice. Now, we also saw during Minecraft Live that wool would interrupt the redstone, the wirelessness of it. It would interrupt the vibrations. So if I go ahead and take some wool and stick it down right there, then this will not detect the wireless vibration from this door, and it interrupts the signal. And that can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be right next to the sensor. So if there's anywhere in the line, it is not going to send that vibration along. In fact, let me try something over here. So I put down just a little bit of wool right there. And if I grab a snowball, I can like throw this down, and you can see almost a shadow of where it's not going to allow it to be detected behind it. See that? Isn't that kind of neat? So all of those right behind it will not help in the detection zone, basically, which is kind of neat. So that basically dampening behavior only works with wool. So I have stone in the way, and that is not going to stop that redstone signal, that vibration signal, from heading to another sensor. I also did something that was similar to wool, which was sponge or leaves, and none of these seem to stop that vibration. So at the moment, only wool will stop that vibration from keeping the Sculk sensors from activating. By the way, carpet does not work as a deterrent, but also it's kind of fun to like just throw snowballs at one side of this wool, and only one side is going to activate because the vibrations are hidden from the other side. I love this like shadow effect of the vibration. That's really cool. I keep finding super interesting stuff. If I throw wool at the top, you can see that some of them can basically almost see. Oh my God, that is so weird. You get like a trench effect of where the vibration can be detected. And that effect also applies to the player. So if I fall, you can see that there is an area of detection even with my player falling on it. This is really cool. Sculk Sensor's most effective tool for mining is a hoe. So we have even more stuff that the hoe is useful for. And these can be waterlogged. So even in the water, they will detect and they will work. By the way, even the player doing things, like if I take this snowball and throw it out far away from the sensors, just the act of me throwing it will activate these sensors, which is kind of cool. Okay, reading into a little bit more about this redstone stuff, it is insane. So right here we have a sensor, and we also have a trail of redstone. So the amount of power that this sensor will give off, it'll be more powerful the closer the sensing vibration is. So if I shoot the sensor directly, you can see that it activates almost all of our redstone lamps. But if I shoot kind of far away, it will only activate a few. And if I go even further away, I think 8 blocks is its maximum. So let's just kind of keep shooting down the line. See, that was very, very far away. And so you can actually detect exactly how far away something is based off of the redstone signal and the amount of power coming off of that signal. On top of that, you can use a comparator to detect what type of thing It is. So the signal strength is how close it is, but the comparator will show you what type of thing that it is detecting. So one of the weakest signals that it will detect is footsteps. So if I'm just kind of walking next to it, you can see that it's only outputting a signal strength of 1 from the comparator. But one of the stronger signals that it can detect is opening a container. That should send a signal of 11. So I open that container, even though I haven't walked by it or anything, it will send out a strength of 11. And because this is only detecting the type of thing, this can be kind of far away. So it doesn't need to be super close by. And so if I open this, it'll still be at the exact same strength of 11. So you could have a sensor, maybe like a door sensor, where as long as you eat next to it, it'll send out the exact correct type of signal strength, and then you'll be able to open a door because you ate next to the door. Like here's an example of, well, first off, walking over to it, but casting a line is 15, so you can see that we're basically at max, but reeling it in, that's only 14. I don't even think my thing is long enough to detect this. 1 second. There we go. So 15 out, but then 14 back in. That's really hard to see out there. I guess reeling it back in actually is more. But anyway, there you go. So you can use this to detect certain types of actions, which it opens up a huge amount of options for Redstone players. Just to quickly read out all the different things that it could do: step, flap, swim, elytra, free fall, hit ground, splash, wolf, shaking, shoot projectile, projectile land, start eating, fish eating, hit entity, add item to armor stand, open block, close block, switch block, unswitch block, press block, unpress block, attach block, detach block, open container, close container, dispense, fail, use flint and steel, place block, destroy block, place fluid, pick up fluid, casting with a fishing rod, reeling in with a fishing rod, extend piston, contract piston, explosion, and a lightning strike. So each one of those things can now be detected with a comparator attached to a Sculk sensor. Now, some of them overlap, like explosion and lightning strike are the same value of 15. In fact, that value of 15 is for extend piston, cast a fishing rod. There's like a few things that use that redstone signal of 15. But that gives us a lot of options for vanilla detection of exactly what is happening in the game. Now, obviously, this is not generating in world yet. We don't quite know exactly where to get it, how renewable it will be, but this is a really, really awesome look at what is going to completely change Redstone, and especially vanilla Redstone, because I feel like this has a lot of options for those of us who play it not in creative. A lot of this could be done with command blocks, but this type of detection without a command block is incredible. By the way, if you're wondering, mobs do set these guys off. Cats, I thought it would be funny if cats didn't, but this husk, when he moves around, he'll set it off as well when he moves, if he moves. There he goes. I was like, hey, I have to record a video here. Please move. So mobs will also set off these sensors, not just players. That's about it for 20W49A, the Sculk sensor, and of course the new Dripstone biome. There is a ton to unpack here. We are going to see some incredible designs from the community. I know it. And just very, very, very excited about this. I think there's a cat underneath these sensors that is setting those off. Are you under there, kitty kitty? There he is. There's this cat. Hi, kitty kitty. So I guess it works from underneath the sensor as well. I didn't expect that to work that way, but it does. Thanks so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. If you want to directly support me, there's a few ways to do that. You can become a member of the channel by clicking the join button underneath this video. And you can also buy merchandise at helloomg.com, HELLOOMG.com. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on another video. Bye!